right, Sunday, May 1st. We just got back from our epic vacation down at Colleen's parents' place. And yeah, we just came back to the garden. And it's the sink or swim garden tour. Spoiler alert, most things swam. So awesome, awesome. All right, so this is our little fruit orchard right here, consisting of 2 apple trees. They're doing super well by the looks of it. These are the ones that we cut off at Colleen's knee height. And yeah, we'll be interested to see how they do.
You know, I actually lifted my leg to do that.
I know you did.
Okay.
I was so terrified. Okay, so this is the hugelkultur bed that we built last fall. Again, many things have exploded, quite literally. These were all going to seed when we left, and we were going to save the seed, but the birds have taken most of the flowers off. But there's other shoots that are coming, so we may cloche them to protect them from the birds, but yeah, circumstances may prevent us from doing that this year, so we'll see how it goes. Those are the overwintered broad beans that have already flowered, and then these are the ones that we chitted and sowed back in, I think it was March, wasn't it?
Mm-hmm.
It was March. So yeah, everything's doing super well. The carrots that have been here for like a year seem to be growing quite a bit. So
we're actually gonna eat these Wednesday on family dinner night when
right.
Michael's here. I'm gonna pull up some of these carrots and some leeks, and we're gonna have leek carrot something or other.
Right.
Okay.
Okay. All right. So we're just by the peas here. These were the ones that got completely eaten by the birds before we left. So I just put up some chicken wire, and it's obviously worked really well. It's amazing that these things were basically ground level when we left, but are now growing quite well. So once they get a little bit taller, I think we'll take off the chicken wire and let them run up the trellis that we built.
Mm-hmm.
So, and then just one other real quick thing with this bed is this is the hairy vetch and daikon bed.
Green manure.
That we use for green manure, and we've just covered it, and you can see that the cardboard's done a really, really good job. And yeah, some sweet soil in there. So we're going to be pulling this off in the next week or two and planting stuff in there. So awesome. Okay. You can see the potatoes have come up.
And which potatoes are these? Are these the Jennifers?
Yeah.
Jennifers are early potatoes?
Yeah, first earlies.
Okay,
yeah.
First earlies.
So, and then we got the wildflower bed, which is super random, but Colleen's sunflower that I think we just direct sowed this has popped up, and it's doing super nice. Obviously there's some weeds in there, but we just kind of let this thing go.
It's hard to determine
what happens.
I also put in all the seeds for the wildflowers, and I gotta tell you, I really struggle figuring out what the heck is a wildflower.
Well, we're still trying to figure out if this is a weed or not, but we're letting it go because it looks nice. So.
And these, again, what kind of potatoes are these? Are these more Jennifers?
Warba.
Oh, Warbas, okay.
And the artichokes have come up.
Jerusalem artichokes are happening.
If I would have killed them, I would have been seriously worried.
I know.
Because they say you can't kill artichokes, so, which we haven't done. Cool. All right, and then this is the garlic bed.
How much has the garlic grown since we left?
A lot. And one thing is, this is the bulb that we planted, and as you can see,
it's still a bulb. It hasn't
It's still
split.
a bulb. It didn't split. So,
you little stinker.
From looking at our favorite YouTubers, I think our garlic is right there with theirs, and even a little bit bigger. So I don't know what kind of secret we have. I know we tend to plant ours a lot closer together, and this soil has a lot of wood chip in it as well. Last year when we pulled these up, there was a lot of wood chips the roots were actually grabbed onto, which I had no idea what that meant, and I still don't. But I think that if I had to guess, garlic likes fungally dominated soil as opposed to bacterially dominated soil.
Maybe we should look
this
that up.
stuff is like super healthy.
Now it's got some yellow tips on some of them, but is that okay? Is that normal?
Well, and that's the interesting thing, is that these got heavily amended. Worm castings in this one, and then worm castings plus the organic fertilizer 442, I think it was, or 444.
422.
This is the one that we have just completely left. We didn't take the mulch off. We didn't do any of that. So, yeah, if these are even close to the same size as these, obviously this is going to be our preferred method, because we didn't spend anything except for a little elbow grease to pick up some leaves. So we'll see. And again, leaves are fungally dominated, so just be interesting to see what happens. So, all right, just in the berry patch, not much has happened. I mean, something really cool is this is our white currants that we were gonna pot up or put in the ground, but we may just leave it in the pot for now.
If anyone has advice, if you grow currants, we have no idea what we're doing.
Yeah.
Do you think we should go ahead and put it in the ground even though it's got flowers, or should we just let it go for now and then harvest the currants and then plant it when we have time? I don't know.
Yeah,
if anyone has suggestions, I don't know what to do.
So, yeah, and then the autumn fruiting raspberries are looking pretty good, I think. They came bare root, and they're leafing up. And then for some reason, I just found that trellis in the back, that cattle panel that I found on the job site, and I just planted a bunch of peas at the bottom of it, and then around the bases of these, just because, why not? So we'll see. They've kind of sprouted up, and yeah, we'll see how it does.
Okay.
So, and this is another quick job before I left. I just grabbed some of the extra plexiglass that we had laying around, some bird netting, and tried to bird proof it, and it obviously worked. While we were gone, there was a big windstorm that blew these off, and I think some of the ones in the back got eaten, but the birds have now kind of completely left these alone. So again, we'll be pulling these off soon, and actually planting into this bed really soon as well.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Are you eating the?
Yeah, not great.
What did you just eat?
I'm not even sure what this is. I think it's purple sprouting broccoli.
That's just gone directly
to sprouting and went to seed. So, the thing I want to ask though, and that I'm interested in, is, well, A, we want to try to harvest the seed, but B, I mean, if we let this go, this is going to create more stock for the compost, more material for the compost, but it's probably a net zero gain, because the plant is actually pulling as much nutrients out of the soil here to create the seed or the flowers or whatever. So what my question is are we better, if we weren't going to collect the seed, would we be better just to chop this off at the base now, throw this in the compost, or let this thing grow massive and then harvest it so we have more compost material? I think I know the answer, but I'll be interested to hear what you guys think.
Okay.
So yeah, the cauliflower is doing really well. The broccoli is doing really well. This was all stuff that we sowed back in February, I believe.
Yeah.
And even the chard's like looking really well. When it went in, it was super leggy, but it's bounced back nicely. So again, the kale's gone to seed. This thing that we have no idea what this is going to seed.
The birds are eating that.
The onions that got eaten down to the ground have made a great comeback, and you can see they're actually bulbing a bit. So
do we know what that is?
No idea. But the awesome thing is that we're a year old now, so we can start going back and looking and seeing what we actually planted here.
Yeah. And
figure it out from there. So it's pretty exciting being a year old. Yeah, lots of stuff to learn from our old videos. So
no
we're
doubt.
gonna start doing that. Yeah, so that's kind of that's it for that bed.
Okay.
All right, so this is the parsnip bed and the carrot bed. Most of the parsnips actually have come up. We were really lucky that we had kind of consistent rains here in Victoria, and yeah, it kept them fairly well hydrated. There were actually a couple that dried out and died, but for the most part, it's really good. And all the carrots are doing really, really well. So, yeah, pretty stoked about that. One interesting thing that I observed though is this: all the soil that we made or put in this bed came from behind the garage, and you can see that this is like has the highest weeds in the garden compared to like our garden. Our raised beds really have hardly any weeds in them at all, no dig. And this bed here has, I actually haven't seen a weed in this in-ground bed. So I'm talking about compost, I think. That's why Snowy is saying hello. Or she just got an email from Chevy.
What is that bucket called?
Yeah, it's this one. What did we, this was, what was the video that we did?
It was just that. It wasn't just about that bucket, but that had the.
Oh, it had the hot compost in it.
Oh my god.
Yes, it had hot compost, and that's right. Okay, it's all coming back to me. What was it called? What did I call it?
Chitosaurus Rex.
Chitosaurus Rex went in here. So yeah, you can see a bunch of the potatoes that we've sown have come up. Which ones? We have no idea. Just put a little of the green manure on top. Oh, what's this? Egg carton. But yeah, obviously the heat of the compost didn't kill it. And I'll have to go back and look at that video, but what else we put in there. But super excited that we're actually gonna get maybe potatoes from just the most random potatoes that we found. So yeah, stoked about that. And then these are our mid and late season potatoes, correct?
I believe so.
Yeah. Yeah. So I forget what these are, but we have it written down. But yeah, they're all sprouting except for one. And then the great potato UK competition, UK and Ireland. Things are banging. So again, Duncan needs to catch up a bit. Hugh, you need to talk to your potatoes a little more with your soothing voice. But yeah, everyone's looking pretty good.
I'm wondering, they're all at about the same soil level at this point, but should we go ahead and top up these buckets so that they're totally at the top? What kind of potatoes are these?
I don't know.
All right, so what we're going to do is look up what kind of potatoes these are. If they're main crop potatoes, then we're going to top them up because main crop potatoes will grow all the way up. If they're just...
No, I think they're first earlies.
Are they first earlies?
Yeah, because we're itching to plant. I'm sure. Yeah, they're first earlies.
All right, if they're first earlies, it won't matter, and we don't need to top them up because they'll only grow at the same level. So, okay.
You know what? Maybe we will top some up. Maybe we will.
Doesn't that make the competition unfair?
Fair had nothing to do with this competition. Nothing.
It was a blind assignment for who got what.
It was, but now it's not. It might change. It might change. If people want us to top up their... How about this? If you want us to top up your potatoes, let us know and we'll do it.
That's a good idea.
Yeah.
But don't we okay, I'll make sure I put what kind of potatoes they are, and then you can decide. Okay, everybody, you can decide.
Do you can break rules too. It's no problem.
Yeah, there aren't really any rules, are there?
No rules. I mean, there's rules in gardening, but I mean, obviously we've broken like every single one and we're getting some decent stuff. Not every single one, but you know, 2 by the handles.
2 by the handles. There's no handles on those.
That's right.
Okay.
Okay. All right, so this is our in-ground bed that we built last year, lasagna style. And before we went, this is basically the sink or swim. we just planted little tiny babies in here. Kale, lettuces, onion sets, and then I direct sowed a bunch of peas on the far side there. So yeah, we'll see how they do. Everything has survived, and some of them are really doing well. So one thing I noticed is that these slushy cups, the ones that are in there are tending to be kind of the biggest one, and that would make sense because it keeps it a little bit warmer in the cold Victoria spring. So yeah, got it. Okay, so yeah, this is a little pea experiment that we got going. This is the experiment where I planted a whole bunch of different flowers into different mediums. So yeah, they all look a little undernourished, to be honest, but we'll see how they go. I mean, it was quite cold while we were gone, so that might not have helped either. But yeah, you can see our
There you go.
icicle radish.
We ate one of these already today.
It was delicious, delicious.
We're gonna have roasted radishes along with our roasted carrots and leeks this week. I would have potentially rinsed that off. Now that people, okay, show them the holes. So they've got holes in them. Now they seem still edible. They're a little soft.
They're delicious.
But they have a good flavor. So what did we do wrong that they got holes in them? Any problem with just going ahead and eating them? I'm going to say no. Did they just get too old? Are they starting to get woody? I don't know. If someone can tell me, that would be great.
Look at this. Cosmos is already, I think we should pinch that off.
No. Let's just water it.
Oh, okay. I've seen guys pinch them off though.
Okay, well, you do what you want.
Okay. So this again, a cold frame, Prince Rotang, radishes, beautiful little guys. We're gonna do a Wednesday dinner, as we always do with the boys, and we're gonna roast a bunch of these, some of these, some of those, some of those. Yeah, and have a delicious dinner.
And then what do you have going on over here?
Another kind of little experimental thing. Again, they had to kind of go out. It would have been best to kind of leave them for a little bit, but these are all the lettuces. And I just wanted to see how these slushy cups did while we were gone. And I mean, there's not much in it. These look a little bit bigger. But again, it could just be more plants that I planted. So there's not much in it. But yeah, so, and then we got some wasabi arugula coming up here that probably needs to get out of there. So the good news is we have, hi Snowy, we have a bunch more room. And then in all our beds, we're gonna have a bunch more room too. So we just kind of got to figure out what we're gonna do. Okay. All right, so just to wrap it up, we're in the B&V area of the garden here. The artichoke is doing great, but what we need to do this month is create the supports for the tomatoes that we have growing away at our neighbor's greenhouse. So we got a bunch of tomatoes that are going to come in here and then back in there, and then we're going to interplant some other stuff as well in there. So that's our big job for May, is to get this structure, whatever it's going to be, built. So yeah, super excited. We'll remove these little things that the bunny ate down and is now popping up. But yeah, so hope you guys enjoyed it. Most things swam. It was awesome. While we were gone, the rain really helped. And yeah, we'll see you in the next one. Not at all, but awesome. Well, it's got some heat at the end.